Hi, this is Trey Passer. I'm going to do my best of 2018, best movies of 2018. Um, I wrote it down on this list of paper. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 movies that I'm going to go. Well, actually, I'm going to put 14 movies. 14 movies are my best of 2018. I have some honorable mentions, which I'll save for the end. But let me go through the best movies of 2018, in my opinion, and then I'll tell you which one I think is the best, and then I'll give you my honorable mentions. Okay, so just do it that way. I think that'll be a lot easier. Crazy Rich Asians. Okay, I really enjoyed that movie. First of all, that movie is visually beautiful. Okay, that wherever they filmed that, I think it was just Hong Kong. I think, right? Excuse me. It was absolutely so beautiful. It makes you want to go visit the city. They show you the whole culture and everything. But I like the performances from the actress who was from Fresh on the Boat. I can't remember her name now. Who's from Fresh off the Boat? Which I've just seen clips of that on YouTube and stuff. But she was really, really good in this movie. You really felt for her character. She was sort of like this, this character is trying to prove herself, I guess, in a way. She didn't know her. Of course, her fiance was from a rich family. Okay, but she went there and she met his family, and Michelle Yeoh was the mother-in-law from hell, literally, and she had to try to adjust to that, finding out his wealth and all that stuff. And it's a really good movie and good support from what's her name, Awkwafina. That's the actress who played her best friend. She was good too. She was funny, and just real good. And Henry Golding as the fiance, I thought he was really good. He had charisma, and I can see him. Hopefully, he gets cast in other movies because he's a really charismatic guy as well, and I thought it was beautiful and it's totally believable, and you were rooting for this couple all the way through. And sure, it's predictable, but it was still a treat to watch, and it's a good cultural change too to see. You see, them get, this Asian couple get, be, leads, romantic leads in a movie, and it was nice to see in a beautiful movie, and I really enjoyed it. Okay, next movie on my list, Black Panther. Of course, Black Panther, because it was again, this movie was predominantly black, which you don't see that often. Okay, but again, I knew it from the first time I saw him in Civil War. He was great in Black Panther. He was great as as the Black Panther. Damn, I can't remember his name. He was just so good, and and Ryan Coogler, Chadwick Boseman, excuse me, I was drawing a blank on his name. Chadwick Boseman was great, and Ryan Coogler wrote and directed this, and of course, again, a great cast, and it made you believe in that whole world. Michael B. Jordan, of course, was great as Killmonger. Lupita Nyong'o, Daniel Gura, Daniel Kaluuya, again, Letitia Wright, Winston Duke, Angela Bassett, Forest Whitaker. Come on, that's a great cast. My only negative to this movie was the final fight between them which is really, I think they should have put that final fight that was down there with the trains. I think they should have had the fight up, where you could actually see it, but they had to fight, that final fight down below and stuff. But Michael B. Jordan played a great villain, a villain that you actually sympathize with, which is, which is, I think, a good one. You can actually understand the villain's point of view. Then I think that makes a compelling villain. And I thought Michael B. Jordan was really good as Killmonger and stuff. And again, it was great to see that whole world of Wakanda and stuff, which we got introduced to, and that was a really good treat. Now I can't wait for the sequel, the inevitable sequel. Now the next movie on my list came out later this year. It came out in November. Ralph Breaks the Internet, of course, sequel to Wreck-It Ralph, and this is where basically Ralph and them and Vanellope, they have to try to get fix her racing game, and so they go out and to explore the world of the internet. And basically, the story became more about friendship and whether well, you can actually when you're best friends with somebody, can you have something separate and apart from them and not kind of betray that friendship? And that was what the gist of this movie really was. And I think they really did a really good job of explaining that how, because they had Vanellope and Ralph, they were so close. They did the same thing every day, all the time, and once she had something new and she wanted to explore it, she didn't want to disappoint Ralph because she wanted to do her own thing. And about Ralph coming to terms with still being best friends, but you can have different interests and stuff. So that was like a life lesson too that you got in this movie, which I thought was really good, and it made it to me a sequel that definitely improved upon the original. So that's why I loved Ralph Breaks the Internet. Now the next movie on my list is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which I was so looking forward to. That was one of my most anticipated movies once I saw the first trailer, and this movie didn't disappoint at all. This movie, the animation was fantastic. I love the voice work. I love the story of Miles Morales. Okay, and which makes me want to go out and actually buy the comics for Miles Morales, and I want to read about him and stuff. But it's basically his story, Miles Morales, and his world, and him getting thrust, getting the spider people from other different universes coming on, and his journey. And it was really well done. I love the voice work. The animation was fantastic. I love the story, and it really touched me. And it was really, again, one of the best movies, I thought, animation or otherwise, of the year. And it really lived up to the hype, and I really enjoyed it. And I can't wait for that sequel to that movie, to this movie as well. Okay, now the next movie on my list, of course, came out earlier in the year, called A Quiet Place. This was directed by John Krasinski and starred him and his wife Emily Blunt, and they play this couple that's sort of in the I don't know if it's in the near future, but supposedly where these creatures come and basically wreck the planet, and you have to basically keep quiet to survive because these creatures are so sensitive to noise that you had to be really quiet. So this is the story about this one family and how they survived it, and it was very well done. I thought great direction by John Krasinski, and of course he starred it as well, directed it, and Emily Blunt was good as well. And then the kids, the young actress who played their oldest daughter, she was actually deaf in real life, okay, which I didn't know. And I thought she did a good job too, and especially the young kid, not the second youngest kid, who he really made you believe that fear. He had me convinced his fear was palpable, okay, because I mean you had to keep quiet to survive basically, and they were another complication because the wife was having a baby, okay, and they had lost the younger son earlier before when he made a noise, okay, and so she was having another baby, which I didn't think, logically looking into that, how could you even plan to have another kid? And, babies can't keep quiet, they cry all the time, but they supposedly had a plan to keep it, I guess, hidden underneath until, I guess, the baby got of age and stuff. But still, this movie has tension, suspense, and again, I thought really well done. A really good drama and horror movie at the same time. So I think well done to this movie. And I don't know if they're supposed to make a prequel or a sequel, but we'll see, whatever. But it was a really good movie. Next movie on my list, If Beale Street Could Talk. That's the last movie I saw from this year, since this is the 31st, so this is the last movie I'm seeing for this year. And this is directed by Barry Jenkins, written and directed by Barry Jenkins, based on the novel by James Baldwin. And it was a really good movie, powerful movie, basically about this young couple, starting out, young black couple starting out, and how this, this black man is jailed, okay, on a suspicion of rape, and them trying to struggle and trying to get him out. And also they show you flashbacks about this couple and their meeting and them falling in love and their family. And it was a really well done movie. If you saw Moonlight, you know how Barry Jenkins shoots his movies. You have this all these nice real close-ups of the faces and stuff, and the drama of it was really good, and the actors I thought was really good in this. Regina King is getting special. I think she got nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actress. She plays the mother of the daughter who's pregnant and trying to get her fiance out and stuff. And I thought all the actors did a really good job in this movie, and this was a really good follow-up for Barry Jenkins to Moonlight. The movie just got me because it's this movie, the book was written years ago, and this story could apply to today. The way the story was, about a man being, wrongly accused of something, and family fighting, struggling to get him out, and struggling just to survive even. And it's just I really love it. It's one of the best movies I saw this year. Anyway, the next movie on my list is Avengers: Infinity War. Of course, this is the big movie that everybody's waiting for, with all the stars from the previous movie all in one movie. Guardians, Avengers, everybody in this movie all at once, and of course Thanos coming looking for the Infinity Stones. And this movie was well done. So many characters, like all characters didn't get a lot of face time, but the story was compelling, Okay, Josh Brolin, I think, did a great job as Thanos. Okay, the deaths in it, the vanishing of people getting wiped out at the end. This movie was an emotional, uh, put you through the ringer emotionally, and the way it just ended was just, woo. And that there was that shot. I think that shot of Captain America sitting on the floor, basically going, "What?" Basically, with the look on his face, like, "What happened?" Basically, after all the people that once Thanos got the glove and he wiped out half of humanity, and to see the people just vanish. And Spider-Man's, I defy you to look at that Spider-Man when he vanished, and him saying he didn't want to go, and just that just broke your heart, really, and that makes you so looking forward to the next movie, and that's what a movie should do, keep you engrossed and definitely want to see what comes next. And that's what Infinity War did. It was just one of the best superhero movies that I really enjoyed thoroughly. Okay, next movie on my list is Incredibles 2, of course, the sequel that took 14 years to make, but it didn't disappoint. And basically, this story is told through the mother's point of view when she was actually recruited to help, bring the supers back into prominence. And this movie, and basically, with the father having to take care of the kids at home and stuff. And I thought this one was really good. And the villain, while the villain wasn't is great, but you could see her point of view, I guess, which kind of makes sense. But as far as the characters, I really enjoyed this movie a lot. Okay, you got to see more Jack. Jack was just one of my favorites. You got to see the kids struggling, and and I thought they would do a time jump, but I guess in a way it makes sense that they didn't do a time jump because it takes place directly after the first movie, and it really just shows you that these characters, these movies with these characters in this Incredibles and Incredibles 2 is basically what the Fantastic Four movie, if they ever make a decent one. Now Marvel has the rights back. Hopefully they can make a decent movie, but this is the blueprint on how to make a good Fantastic Four movie. Sure, that it's functional, but at the end of the day, they love each other and they come together and they help each other, and that's what the Fantastic Four is. So hopefully they'll do that. But this movie, Incredibles 2, was definitely a worthy sequel, and hopefully we don't have to wait another 14 years for a third part. Okay, hopefully we'll get it in another 2 to 3 years. Okay. Anyway, and another movie that I really enjoyed that I didn't see the trailer to later this year. It's called Eighth Grade, and this is about I think she's 14 years old, I think, in the movie, 14 or 13, but I think she's on the verge of going to high school. I think, yeah, she's on the verge of going to high school, graduating from junior high school, and she's in the social media age. She kind of has a YouTube channel and she puts up things about basically how to be friends, how to be how to what to wear and all. So she's like giving out helpful hints to her people, to people that watch her videos, which aren't that many, but she's giving out these helpful hints, and so it seems like she has her life all together. But in reality, the reality of it is that she's a loner and she stays to herself, and she's living with her dad, who's I think divorced. I think they say he's divorced in the movie. I don't think they said the mother died or anything, but she's living with her dad, who's struggling to, who's he's working and still trying to figure her out. And she's, of course, she's into her own world. She's trying to, you can see that she's trying to be better and do these things. That's why she's doing the YouTube channel and all that stuff. But it doesn't, but her real life isn't, everything's not as good as it should be. And the young actress is sort of almost filmed like in a documentary type style during part of it. But the other part of it that makes it real and painfully real is because it's it's the current social media age and stuff, and she's trying to fit in but not yet fit in, and it's to see her struggle is just, it's like almost too real to watch it. And like I said, she's quiet, she's shy, shy, and there's a boy that she likes, of course, and she's a little overweight, but she's trying to be positive and give out positive tips to things, and like I said, this movie is almost too real. And the guy who wrote this, I think he used to have like a YouTube channel, the guy who wrote and directed this, and this movie is like painfully honest, and it's just so real that it just I really enjoyed this movie a lot, and I can't recommend this movie a lot. It just really touched you when you watch this movie. You look at this movie, and you go, "Oh my God, this movie is like almost too real." Okay. Now, the next movie on my list is Mission Impossible Fallout. Okay, this movie, of course, is Tom Cruise. It's, I think, the sixth entry in the series. I think sixth entry in the Mission Impossible movies, and this one was really good. Well done. This movie got delayed a little bit because Tom Cruise broke his ankle doing a stunt. But again, this movie was good. It had a good plot to it. Okay, had a good villain in it, which is always essential to these Mission Impossible movies. If you have a good villain, of course, and good action in this. And this movie was great. Henry Cavill, he played the quote-unquote villain in this movie, and he was really good, mustache and all. Okay, and Tom Cruise, again, him and his team were fantastic. I love them with good action, good locations. Rebecca Ferguson, who I absolutely love, is in this as well. It's good. And this movie had suspense, action. That fight in the bathroom was absolutely fantastic. Okay, the fight with Tom Cruise and Henry Cavill on the mountain was great. It's just a fantastic movie all the way around. And this, like I said, these movies, Tom Cruise, when these movies first started, I kind of hated because I loved the Mission Impossible TV series, and I hated that they made Jim Phelps the bad guy in it, which I really hated because he was always the good guy in the TV show. But I know that Tom Cruise did it so that way they can get that team out of the way, so he could be the star of the movies going forward. But after that, these movies have steadily gotten better and better and better. And this movie was definitely one of the best that came out this year. It's a fantastic entry into the series. Now, I think my last movie on my best of no, I got two more movies. Excuse me. Next movie on my best of list is Aquaman. Now, of course, everybody knows the issues with the DC extended universe. But this movie, again, we're waiting for this movie a long time because it came out December. And of course, James Wan wrote and directed this. Well, he wrote it, he directed it. And this movie, I really enjoyed it for a lot of reasons. First of all, it's visually a beautiful movie. I love the whole worlds that James Wan created in the movie. And Jason Momoa has really grown in the Aquaman role. He's comfortable. He has enough charisma on screen. Amber Heard, I thought, was great as Mera. Okay, Patrick Wilson as Ocean Master. King Orm, I thought he was good. I thought Nicole Kidman as Aquaman's mother, I thought she was good as well. Visually, this movie is absolutely breathtakingly beautiful. I love the whole world of Atlantis. And, they basically traveled all around the world, and the locations were absolutely beautiful and breathtaking. Black Manta looked good. The only thing I guess the only negative to this movie would be the way they kind of set up Aquaman and Black Manta to be antagonists towards each other. It was not hero-like what he did to basically leave Black Manta down and his father to basically to drown to death. That was not very heroic. But then again, like I said, they did basically just wipe out a whole ship full of sailors. So I guess in a way, but still, heroes don't leave people to die. Okay, that's my opinion about that. But other than that, I loved Aquaman. I thought it was definitely worth the wait to see this movie. Again, it was a fun ride and definitely worth seeing. Definitely want to see more of this world and definitely the eventual sequel. Now, the last but not least movie on my best list is A Star Is Born. This movie, of course, stars Lady Gaga and geez, I'm drawing a blank on his name. He wrote and directed this movie too, and he starred in it, which really surprised me how good. Because I didn't know he could actually sing. I didn't know he could do that, which really surprised me how good he was as a singer. Okay, and that really surprised me. Hold on, let me find his name. I can't remember his name. I'm drawing a complete blank on his name. Oh, let me see. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Bradley Cooper. I'm sorry, I was drawing a blank on his name. But Bradley Cooper wrote and directed this movie. Of course, this is like I think the fourth version of A Star Is Born, because it's been done 3 other times before. But Bradley Cooper wrote and he directed, and he actually sung in this movie too, which I I'd say he has a good, really good voice. But basically, you know, the stars more. Bradley Cooper plays the veteran alcoholic, pill popping, kind of a wash up kind of a singer, and he discovers Lady Gaga, who's a shy, you know, a side star who performs in these clubs and stuff, and he discovers that she really has talent, and it's basically their relationship and how they get on, and then of course, you know, how she basically eclipses him, and then his, how they eventually clash and all that stuff. But I thought this movie was really well done. Bradley Cooper did a really good job, first of all, performing and the direction. Because at first I didn't know he could actually sing, and he could sing and, you know, play the guitar, and he did a real good job with that, and also the acting part. But then Lady Gaga, I thought she was really good. It's this shy person who was not fully confident in herself, who met this guy who brung that out of her, and got in the. I thought the soundtrack was great, and I really enjoyed this movie a lot. It just really got me. And Dave Chappelle was in this. I didn't. He had a small role as a friend of Bradley Cooper, and he was really good too as well. And I really enjoyed this movie a lot. It really spoke to me, and it really became one of my favorites of the year. Anyway, so those are my, I think 14. I think I was 14. Let's see some. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think 12. I think maybe 12. Yeah, 12. I think I did more, but 12. Those are my best 12 movies of the year. Okay, now I have to say, out of all these movies, the movie that I love the most would be Eighth Grade. Okay, that would be my best movie of the year, Eighth Grade, because first of all, I wasn't expecting this movie, and again, kudos to the young actress. I'm trying to remember let me see what her name is. I think this movie came out in. Hold on, let me just see something. I want to give her proper credit, and the guy who directed it too, because this movie really spoke to me, and just really just touched me in a lot of ways. Like I said, it was almost too real, you know, from the performances, from her performance, the guy actor who played her dad, it just really was like, it was just, that movie was just, it was so great. It just really touched me in a lot of ways, and it just, like I said, it's like kids can relate to it, adults can relate to the movie. It was just that good. And hold on, I just want to see if I can find the actress and the director, and because the same guy wrote and directed it. So I just want to make sure I get the. Give you that if I can. Yeah, Elsie Fisher. There we go. Yeah, that's her name, Elsie Fisher. There she is. That's the actress, Elsie Fisher. Hold on. And Josh Hamilton played her dad, but hold on. Let me see if I can. Elsie Fisher. She was the actress who played the young girl. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, let me see if I can find out. Let me find if I can find her. Tell you who wrote and directed it. Okay, Bo Burnham. That's it. That's the guy. I think again he was. I think he had a YouTube channel. He was like famous for YouTube. Bo Burnham. I think he had a YouTube channel when he was younger. But anyway, Elsie Fisher is the actress, and Josh Hamilton played her father. But this movie is like so real, it's painful. Yeah, and this movie, Eighth Grade, is just, like I said, so real and raw. And Bo Burnham is the director, and I think I remember reading that he started a YouTube channel years ago. That's how he became kind of famous, and then he started making movies. And he does just a really, I think his YouTube channel was about his life growing up and all that stuff. And for him to do a movie about a young girl's experience growing up and all that stuff, he did an excellent job. It's just so raw and real. It's just a fantastic movie, and to me, it's the best movie of the year, in my opinion, out of all the movies I've seen. It's the movie that I enjoyed the most, and the movie that just so made you so emotional because it's so real and raw and honest. And the young actress Elsie Fisher, I think she got nominated for a Golden Globe. She totally deserves it because I think that's probably her. I don't know if that was her first film or not, but she did a really excellent job. And kudos to Bo Burnham for making such a great movie, which is again my best movie of the year in my opinion. Now, honorable mentions. Okay, so let's go through this real quick. Okay, Deadpool 2, which I really enjoyed. Uh, White Boy Rick was a true story, based on a true story. So Google it and look it up about the real guy. It was actually a really good movie. Alpha, which I really love about the relationship between man and dog. I thought it was a really good movie, really underrated in my opinion. Equalizer 2, a really good movie with sequel, Denzel Washington. And again, but I just want to say one thing. When you hire an actor, Pedro Pascal, come on. I knew from the start when I saw him in the trailer, it's just trying to be sympathetic guy. I knew he was immediately involved, and he was going to be a bad guy. There's no way you hire an actor as Pedro Pascal to play a minor role. And sure enough, he was involved in it, and he actually winds up getting killed beautifully in this way, in the ending scene, a climactic scene by Denzel Washington. But come on, if you hire an actor of his caliber, you know he's going to be in a movie more than just what they let on in the trailer. So I knew that right from the beginning because I've seen movies too much. And anyway, Fantastic Beasts 2, The Crimes of Grindelwald. I thought that was a nice entry into the series, a nice second part. I don't think it was as good as the first movie. I think this movie was but it was a nice continuation of the saga, and I'm definitely looking forward to the next movie coming along. Annihilation. That was a freaky movie with Natalie Portman, and Tessa Thompson was in this as well. I think Jennifer Jason Leigh was in it as well. And Oscar Isaac. Just a really freaky movie, but it's very interesting, and I did enjoy it a lot. Love, Simon is written and directed by Greg Berlanti, who produces all those CW shows. A real good story about a guy coming out, basically his coming out story, a young guy with friends and stuff coming out in high school. I thought it was really well done. Ready Player One, Steven Spielberg. I thought that was a good movie. Really nice, set in the future and stuff, and based on a book, I believe. It was a decent movie. And Halloween, I thought they did a nice job making this movie be a direct sequel to the first movie. But Jamie Lee Curtis was great, and I thought it was really well done the way it was played out. And special kudos to Judy Greer, who played her daughter in the movie. Creed 2, a decent sequel, not as good as the first one. Ryan Coogler didn't write or direct this one, but I thought it was a nice entry into the series. They brought Ivan Drago back into the series with his son, okay, and the fights were intense and crazy. Adrift. This is Shailene Woodley and Sam, I forgot his name, Sam Kaplan. Okay, this is based on a true story about a girl who gets basically her and a boy she meets in Australia. I think they're supposed to take a ship back, sail a ship for a couple to another country. They were supposed to sail the ship, and they wound up going adrift literally and having to fight for survival. I thought it was really well done. Shailene Woodley, I thought it was really well done movie that's kind of underrated in my opinion. Bumblebee, which I absolutely love. I think it's probably the best Transformers movie, and that's not saying much considering the complete wreck that Michael Bay has done to these movies. No screaming kids, no screaming geeks in this movie, no impossibly hot chicks, no mindless stupid characters in this. It was a nice movie and a nice entry into the series, and I wouldn't mind a direct sequel to that at all. Okay, and let me see what else. Okay, Upgrade. I thought that was a nice low-budget sci-fi horror movie about a guy whose wife gets he gets attacked. Him and his wife get attacked. His wife gets killed, and he gets paralyzed, and he gets an upgrade. And it's like I said, it's a sci-fi horror movie, and you have to see it to see how it plays out, and it's really good, really underrated. And Ocean's 8, which I thought was a decent movie. I didn't, know if it was going to be, when they do a female version of the Ocean's movie, but it actually turned out pretty good. And Sandra Bullock was good as the head chick, and Kate Blanchett was in it. Aquafina, she was in it. Rihanna, who else? I couple other women that I can't remember off the top of my head. Anne Hathaway, who I really, really enjoyed in this movie for playing this ditzy actress who was a lot smarter than she let on. Okay, and Mindy Kaling was in this as well. Okay, but it was a really decent movie. So that's my my honorable mentions. Let me know what you think of my choices for top movies of the year and my honorable mentions and my best movie I thought was the best movie of the year, 8th Grade. Definitely let me know what you think. Feel free to leave those comments down below. And if you like this video, please hit the subscribe button down below. I have links to my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram, Ms. Gritzenbach, as well as a link to my other channel called Views and Opinions. Please check that out as well. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long and take care.